Patrick, welcome back.
Thank you.
A pleasure to have you back, our 2018 Masters champion. Tell us a bit about what it's been like the last year for you with the green jacket.
It's been amazing. Just to actually put the jacket on for the last year at this point, and then to kind of go home and actually have it set in and be able to reflect on the year and reflect on what we did here last year was just was unbelievable. And having the jacket always around, traveling with it, and allowing other people to see it was definitely a treat.
Awesome. Let's just go back to last year briefly. You had the lead on Saturday. How'd you sleep on Saturday night?
Honestly, I thought I wasn't going to sleep very well. I've heard from the past from other champions and other golfers that have always told me that when you ever have an opportunity to sleep on a lead going into Sunday at a major, you're going to have a rough night. It's going to, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be itching at the bit to get to the golf course and practice. And honestly, I was completely surprised. I slept so well, slept like a baby that night, and actually I felt really calm throughout all the warm-ups until I actually walked to that first tee. When I got to the first tee, I was like, oh no. I just kind of looked at my caddy, and he's like, don't worry, I'm nervous too. He's like, let's just get off the first tee, and he's like, and let's just settle out. And luckily I was able to do that.
And then 17, you had that long putt across the green. The ball hit the pin. You made great four there, and then you went to the 18th tee with a one-shot lead, right? What were you thinking on the 18th?
Well, first off, right after I made the putt on 17 to save par, and while I was about halfway to get to the 18th tee, I heard the roar, so I knew Ricky birdied the last. I knew at that point I only had a one-shot lead, so when I got to the tee, all I could keep on reminding myself is just get the ball in the fairway. And I mean, you've been doing it all week. All you have to do, just go and trust the helicopter, go hit the cut, because it's a perfect setup for it. And once I was able to hit that tee shot and I got in the fairway, I knew the hard part for me was over, because in the past that tee shot has not been my friend. The scoreboard, I feel like, has been hit more times than not on the second shot because I'm always in those right trees. And so from that point, being in the fairway, I tried to hit it towards the middle of the green, and I thought I'd be able to utilize the ridge, and it tested me by staying on the ridge. And at that point, it was just a two-putt for victory.
There was no easy two-putt. What were you thinking when you walked up onto the green and saw it sitting up there, just perilously close to coming back, but just sitting on top of that ridge?
I was confused. I was confused that the ball didn't come back, but then at the same time, it's honestly, I feel like, probably the easiest of the two putts you could have had on that green. If the pin's in the back and I was below the ridge, you have to hit it to get it up. From being on the ridge, all I had to do was get the ball started, and you just have to make sure it's high enough, because if it ends up low, the ball's going 4, 5, 6 feet, because he's always working away from the flag. And so after I tapped it, because it was going by the hole and how slow it was moving, I was able to kind of see the break coming back. And at that point, it was sit there and just remind myself that, hey, it's a 3-foot putt. And I just kept on having to keep on reminding myself, you've made a million of these. It's a 3-foot putt. So I was trying to take out all the perspective of it being to win the Masters, because the more you can trick your mind into putting it back into reality that it's only a 3-foot putt, then you can able to get up there and make a normal stroke rather than putting extra pressure on yourself.
Awesome. Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
Questions, please. John.
I'm just curious, you're talking about the night before, sleeping so well. There's such a gap of time in the morning as you're getting ready to play. What did you do that morning? When did you wake up, and kind of what was your day like until you got to the golf course?
Right. So, I think the biggest thing was being able to sleep very well throughout the night. This golf course is a hard golf course mentally and physically. Walking, and you have long days, you're always grinding on everything. So, I was able to sleep really well. When I woke up, the little ones were awake. So I basically just hung out in my sweatpants and T-shirt and just kind of watched some TV with Winslow Wells and Baby Barrett, played with them with a little bit, and just basically kept my mind as much off of golf as I could, just because, I didn't want to burn any extra mental energy that I would need throughout the round and throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Patrick. Having won the Masters here last year, Does winning make you more hungry or more comfortable, would you say?
Well, it makes me more, I would say, more confident and comfortable around this golf course because, now all of a sudden we're in a situation where even if you have a perfect game plan and you know what you're trying to do around the golf course, you still always are wondering, okay, well, is this the right game plan, or am I doing the right things since you haven't won here? But now actually having the win, I know what I need to do in order to compete and have a chance on Sunday. But knowing that I have to give the jacket back at the end of the week, it makes me more hungry to and more motivated to keep the jacket and continue playing well and trying to win another one, because it's nothing like being able to just kind of walk around and I position a jacket everywhere I go. So every time I wake up, I see it, and every time I come home and go to bed, I see it. So I use it more as motivation.
Sam?
Patrick, of all the traditions here at the Masters, whether it's no cell phones, skipping the ball on 16, no running, no advertising, nobody inside the ropes, which do you appreciate the most, and which sort of changed the feel of this tournament in comparison to others?
I think for me, I mean, it's a place that you feel like you can get away. Nowadays everything's so much in the fast lane. Everything is so much in electronics, and to be able to come out and get back to what golf is, it's the fans coming out and experiencing such a perfect golf course, being able to watch, actually watch golf, not sit there and try to take photos or video people as they're hitting golf shots, and so they actually get to experience it. And having the scoreboards, the old school scoreboards, to me, it's just amazing to come back and see it, and to come back and see every year, you always find something a little different here or there, and it's something that, to me, to be able to put basically normal life right now, which is always in the fast lane, aside and just slow everything down and just get to enjoy the week, is something that I love about this place.
Teddy?
Patrick, is it important to you to be popular and well-liked by the spectators here?
I mean, I feel like I have a lot of fans around here. That's one great thing about the sport we play is, whether it's here, whether it's anywhere else we play, or whether it's around the world, a lot of the fans, they respect great golf and they want to see great golf. And, it all depends on how you handle yourself. And the more interactive you are with the fans, the more they're going to respect you, because at the end of the day, the more the fans and people get to know you, the more they realize that you're just a normal guy out there playing golf, and you're just doing your profession.
Jeff?
Patrick, a number of Masters champions have struggled in some majors the rest of the year, maybe in part because of all the attention that comes their way. Did you find the rest of the year particularly difficult for you? The rest of the season exhausting, particularly in majors because of winning here last year?
I mean, it was a long year, but we had opportunity to win at Shinnecock. I needed a good back nine. I mean, I came close there, but I felt like I handled the extra obligations, the extra attention. I felt like my team and I have handled it really well, and yes, it's different, but it's a good different. I mean, anytime you can go out and you can play, and every time you go up to the first tee throughout the entire year, and they're like 2018 Masters champion gets announced, it just brings goosebumps and memories back. And the great thing about golf is it's a work in progress.
Ignacio, am I pronouncing that
Yes.
correctly?
Okay. Patrick, where is your game now compared with last year's?
I feel like the game now is where it needs to be. We've put in a lot of hard work throughout, basically the entire year, and it's just it's those things that you just need when you come here. You need to be mentally as well as physically ready to go out and play. And I've been really close. I've put myself in position in some events. It's just one round, here or there that has kind of hurt me, and I just need to go out and put 4 solid rounds together.
Robert.
Hi there. You shared a nice moment with the U.S. amateur champion on the putting green yesterday. Can you say a little bit about what you talked about and what kind of advice you have for him?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he introduced himself, and it's going to be a great week. I told him to enjoy it and have fun because really, to be able to come and play as an amateur is such a special thing. And then on top of it, to win the USAM, you definitely have the game to come out here and play well. And it's just to put it in perspective, and that's to come out and have some fun and go out and play well.
Don.
If the winner this week isn't Patrick Reed again, how special do you think it would be to see Tiger Woods win another green jacket?
It'd be pretty cool, but at the same time, hopefully I can go ahead and fighting for it.
Vincent? Oh, you didn't have one? Sorry. Sir, over here.
Hey, Patrick. I'm asking you about something that hasn't happened yet, but when you go in the clubhouse tonight for the Champions Dinner, do you think that being a Masters champion will hit you on a different level than it already has, being in the room with all those other champions? And who do you share a locker with in the Champions locker room?
It's going to be a very fun night. Honestly, I just can't wait to be able to go out and spend time with the past champions and just hear different stories and and be able to talk to the guys about how their experience was winning their first, whether it was a couple years ago, last year, whether it was a long time ago. I mean, everyone has their different stories, and I just can't wait to kind of be in there and to listen to what they say. I share with Mr. Kaiser. So,
Ian?
Patrick, I think a fair amount of people feel that golf does need personalities like yourself that are a little different from the prototypical golfer. I'm just wondering, over the years, if you've heard that from fans or maybe from athletes in different sports, and if so, what has that meant to you?
Everyone has their own different personalities. That's the way everyone is. But, really, all the players and other athletes, the biggest thing is to be true to yourself and, go out and do what it is that you feel like is best for you, best for your team, and also helps you perform the best.
Steve?
Patrick, how much lighter are you now than you were a year ago? And if you win another one of these green jackets, is it going to have to take it in, or?
I've lost a little, but the reason why I lost a little is because tonight I knew what kind of menu I was putting out there, so I need to leave a little room to be able to fit back into it. So no, but I've lost probably 10, 12 pounds, but just over a gradual period of time, and I just thought it would be better to get in better shape and just keep on getting stronger because the seasons seem to get longer and longer, especially playing on both tours. During the PGA Tour off season, I'm overseas playing on the European Tour. I'm usually playing their finals. So, it's something that I thought would have helped me for recovery purposes and also just to stay strong from beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Couple more. William?
Patrick, what's been the most challenging aspect of the last year for you?
I would think the biggest thing would have been, in the very beginning is just really managing my time well. I'm a grinder. If anything, I probably hit too many golf balls and am on the golf course too long. So as later in the weeks come, it can get a little bit more stressful on my body and on my mind. And then, with being Masters champion now you're adding extra obligations and extra things that come along with it. And it's just trying to, in the very beginning was trying to figure out, okay, how do I manage the time and make sure I get everything I need to do in on the golf course and also off the golf course in order to be ready Monday through Sunday.
Jimmy, last question. Thanks.
Patrick, you kind of answered this before, but I'm curious, do you think it's harder to win a first or harder to win another?
I don't know. I haven't won my second, but I I would always feel like it'd be harder to win the first, because, you know, every guy out here believes that they can win a major, and, you know, you feel like you have the game to do it, but until you actually do it, there's always that kind of that self-doubt in the back of your mind that's always like, well, you know, even though I believe I can do it, I haven't done it yet, you know, I mean, and am I going to be able to do it? And so once you get over that hurdle and you do it once, then all of a sudden now your confidence goes even higher, because you start believing, not only do you believe that you can win, but you've also already done it as well. So to me, I was always thinking that the first one would be the hardest.
Patrick, thanks for coming in. You've been a terrific champion, and good luck this week.
Thanks.